Hello, everyone. This is our first hackathon ever. Um, it was created by two of our teammates, and yeah, the random video generator. Uh, so why is it needed first, and what is it? And this is a question that we ask gamers from around the globe. Are usually always stuck on the question, "What game should I play?" And that's for us as well. We always have iterations where we're just like either staring at our desktop, staring at our game libraries, just not really sure what to do. And it's a weird experience to have, but hopefully this project will be the solution. And it's the random game generator, and it provides users with a game and a description. And that's dependent on what platform they choose and what genre they choose. And they can keep rolling until a game that may pique their interest shows up. And they can play that. So our team members, there's me. I was the one who did most of the Node.js on the back, like the back end. I did the Express.js. I did the OpenAI API, and I also did some SQLite free database backend as well.
Hello, my name is Mateus, and I did the front end for the web page. And at first, we started doing MongoDB, but we ran into issues that we will mention later in the slideshow. So we had to resort to SQLite 3.
Problem breakdown. So this is just our decomposition, divide and conquer, whatever you want to call it, of our problem. So we have inputs that the user wants to input. So they have to input their platform that they like play on or they want to play on, and the genre they want to like play. And then they just have to hit a roll button, and that will send a post request that will query the database with the selected platform and selected genre, and it will return a random game from that genre and from that platform, and then that game will be generated onto a user screen, and it will also be sent to an AI API that will also return a small description of the game to the user as well. The solution is here on our GitHub, or my GitHub, but he's a collaborator, Matthias is a collaborator. We use EJS for all the front end. We use JavaScript for some of the different backends, like Node.js, and then CSS for obviously the styling. If we go to the next slide, it's our demo. We don't have a demo video right now. We're going to record one, but for now, you can just have like a live demo. This is our page right here, and this is where it's being posted. I'll restart the Node1 server so you can see exactly how it looks like. So depending on what console you play, so Xbox, you have /s, PlayStation /ps. So you can tell that's working. We'll go to Steam and we'll go to a strategy game. And when you press roll, it should generate here, yeah. So it generates a game in that certain genre and that certain Steam like platform. So obviously Steam, you have VR games as well. So they just mentioned the VR game After Dark. So yeah, that's pretty nice. We could maybe try another game. We could try Adventure and roll that. And it's got Korean Scary Folk Tales VR. So yeah, it's quite nice. It works, but sadly there's some problems that we'll mention later on. You can see here the actual files itself, so you can see all the different packages we used, the OpenAI with the API key, the database. Over here you can actually see the database that's holding everything, the SQLite database. All our node modules out there, and the HTML that Matthias created, and the CSS to go with it. So yeah, um, our hurdles. Oh, first our tech stack. So we have Node.js, and with Node.js there's also Express.js. We had HTML, which in this case was EJS, but it's the same doc type. CSS for our styling, MongoDB for our database, which unfortunately didn't work, but we got to work on SQLite 3, which is at the bottom there, and AI/ML API for the small description. Our hurdles when using MongoDB, our collections were not being detected and returned a null value. This was a problem we were having near the end. Originally, we had a problem with our first API, MongoDB, where it just wasn't like allowing us to choose a collection. So then we had to change it from MongoDB to Mongoose. And after experimenting for like a good 2 hours, we kept getting null values constantly, and we just couldn't figure out why we were getting null values. It was really strange. So at the end, we had to switch from MongoDB to SQLite 3 since I had experience using it. And yeah, we created the SQLite database as you saw there, the games.db, and we just queried it using regular SQL, which was pretty simple and easy. We also had like to do the different choices for different platforms and stuff. We would have a variable called choice, and then we actually used. Oh, I forgot to mention that we used cookies as well now. So we had cookies for the choice, and then with each choice, with each web page choice, it would clear the cookies, and it would add a new cookie with the index of or with the value that they chose. So if they clicked on the Xbox button, the cookie would be choice Xbox. If they chose the PS, it would be choice PS4, and so on and so forth. And that's really important because originally we had just a variable here, and if that's the case, then every single user is affecting the same variable, and that can cause problems with like, say for example, two users are using it at the same time, and one person clicks Xbox, one person clicks PS4, then it's gonna choose both of them. If they roll, will have one platform, which is the one who did the last, which would be PS4, and that would be just not a useful or really enjoyable experience for the user because they'll be constantly having to like really quickly press the buttons and then the roll button. So it's a lot better that we have this cookie choice saving thing because it just means that since cookies are sold client side, each individual person who presses the roll button will get an individual response based on their choices that they made rather than anyone else's influence. So yeah, that was some of our hurdles. The AI ML API. This is our last hurdle, which we weren't able to get over because we just ran out of time. It's the fact that the AI ML API only gives the text in the terminal itself. There's no like website thing that shows what your game is and what your the description is. That was just an unfortunate like thing where we just didn't know how to get like how to post text to the web page through Express.js and Node.js because we have in the indexes both the H1 and P1 here that were ready for the game name and game description, but it just didn't work out. So yeah, um, future iterations will try to find a way to message the client after the roll so they know what game they've chosen and they know the game description. Right now, and we'll do it soon. And then the second iteration will be the users will have to, or they'll be able to save their games that they've generated with a user authentic account. This will be simple. We can just create like another table in the database with like users, and then for each user, we can also have like just store the strings of the names or whatever. It's not too difficult. We can get that to work. Or we could just create a whole new database called users and then have two link tables, one with users and one with games, and then a link table in between. But yeah. Um Another iteration that we want to do, another future iteration, we would want to implement a web scraper to get pictures of the video game that is chosen. We want to like go to let's say Google Images and pick up the first like one or two pictures or maybe three pictures and then put them onto the user's screen along with the game and game description. Because when you're choosing games to play, graphics like is a big part of it sometimes. Like you want a game that has good graphics and one that looks visually pleasing to play sometimes. And so if a user has the ability to see on instance the type of game and like what it looks like and then the description of the game, it will give them like a better idea of what game they're seeing and if it will be good for them to play. So yeah, that was our demo for our first hackathon. Hope you enjoyed it. It really was a botch job because we really didn't have much time. Um, we were out most of the day, me and Mateus, and we only came back and we did about like I can't remember exactly how much, maybe 10 hours, something like that. Any feedback or questions can be sent to Reddit post. We'll take anything and we'll try to respond to as much as we can if there are too many. But yeah, so thank you and goodbye.